Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm Malicious Female Fan Steve Alicious here with the Galaxy Z Flip 3, which is my smartphone of the year for 2021. Notice the title of the video isn't going to say Best Smartphone. So I understand everyone does these cell phone awards, and mine's pretty simple since there's one award, and that is Smartphone of the Year. When you're talking Best Smartphone of the Year, I still think and absolutely agree that it's the S21 Ultra. Fantastic. If you're an enthusiast, if you're someone that just wants to get the max, best, fantastic spec, best running, then this was your phone for this year. But, going forward into cell phones in 2022, the most impactful device of the year, to me, was the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Let's talk about it. First off is the intangible, and you know this if you went ahead, took the dive, and bought one. When I'm not testing another device, when I'm not testing a new operating system or an update or something like that, or just a review something, I'm always looking for what's my default device to put the SIM back into? What am I going to use in the interim? It has always been the Galaxy Z Flip 3 since I've had it. For the past couple days, I've been looking for reasons to take it out of this. I got my LG Wing powered up. I got my S21 Ultra powered up, and every time I sat there, took the case off this, had the SIM tool there, my hands started shaking, I started sweating. I just couldn't pull the SIM out of this device because the experience is just that awesome. So let's talk about it in two areas that I think are the most impactful and why this is the most important smartphone of the year. The first is with foldables themselves. Because look, I love the Galaxy Fold series. I love my Fold 2. It's my favorite device to carry around. I think when you open that up and you see that landscape and all the area that you get to use for apps and whatever else, it's fantastic. But I do think, and not even considering the price, it's still just the technology, the form factor, the way you have to use it, it still fits into the category of an enthusiast device. And you can love it. That's not to say it's not awesome tech and all the rest, but it just falls. And then when you add that $1,800 plus, sometimes $2,000 plus price tag in there, I do think you land firmly in the enthusiast bracket. And when you're talking about this $2,000 device, $1,800 device, are people walking into AT&T and plunking $2,000 down, $2 large down on the table? You're financing it. A lot of people are financing it. You're talking $60-ish. I think it was like $66 when it first came out. That's a big ask. Then comes the Flip. It makes it a form factor that's more comfortable for most people because it just basically opens up into a form factor that we're used to, a screen aspect ratio that we're used to. It's just as portable, if not more portable, than the regular phones that we're used to with the glass slabs. And now we're talking $1,000. And there's been a million deals on this. People have been leaving comments on my previous Z Flip 3 video saying they're getting phenomenal deals. Like crazy deals. So when you start getting that finance price through a carrier down to that $30 a month range, when you start competing with iPhone out of pocket per month, then you really have something. This is the phone that brought foldables to the mainstream. And when I see those comments, and there's been plenty of them, of people saying, hey, listen, I had an iPhone for 100 years, literally, real stats, and I moved over to a Z Flip 3, and I'm perfectly happy with it. It has that wow factor, that it factor, the pop culture factor, all that stuff that you might not think enthusiasts watching a bunch of YouTube videos doesn't play into, but it does when you're talking about the mainstream for consumer devices. And it has definitely stolen that buzz from the iPhone. And that's impactful for sure as far as bringing foldable technology to the mainstream at an affordable price bracket. Let's talk about the other thing. Let's say you don't care about foldables whatsoever. You're old school. You know, you walk to school every day 5 miles in the snow, uphill both ways. You don't want anything to do with this newfangled. I don't want it. I want my glass slab. Give me my glass slab and I'm perfectly happy. Well, I'm telling you why this was the most impactful device for you as well this year, even if you plan on buying a glass slab pretty much for the rest of your life. Because look at the rumors and what has to happen now with the S22 Ultra in order for that to be a success. This was a phenomenal phone, the S21 Ultra. everything that you could have possibly wanted. I think the best device they've made since the Galaxy 10 Note 10 series and S10 Plus series of phones. Great device. So well done. Fantastic design. All the features you would have wanted. Still not enough. They realized they couldn't just rebadge this thing, throw a couple new colors on there, and then be able to get your dollars. So now, and they know that data's out there. They looked at the sales and the trade-in data that just came out recently in the past day or so. How the Z Flip 3 has kind of overtaken the S21 Ultra and the iPhone as far as trade-ins and what people are looking to get. This is a threat even to themselves. So they had to come up with something a little extra. And that's why you're going to get, I think that's why they were pushed to make sure that the S22 Ultra is as awesome as it seemingly looks like it's going to be. Pen in the device, return to that Note 10-ish form factor, all the rest of it. I think you're going to see manufacturers realize that, because even though this was great, it doesn't move the needle for me. I still put my SIM in this guy, and I think that's a universal feeling. I think if you use both, you're going to come away with that feeling as well. And I think that the phone manufacturers know that. So even if they're coming out with slab phones next year, you're going to see a difference in design. There's going to have to be some differentiating factor there. They can't just give you a regular slab and go at it like they haven't before. Rebadge it, put another color on it. Here you go. Here's the same. Oh, well, we updated the camera system. That was the biggest difference to me when you're talking about a foldable form factor as opposed to the glass slab. Because, yeah, they could update the camera, they could update the whatever. Camera, you're using maybe, 5% of the time, if you're being honest with yourself? The other 95% is pretty stock as to what they're giving you. This changes the experience 100% of the time and changes it for the better. So you're going to have to see more manufacturers come out with these unique features that you're going to like throughout the entire use of the phone, not just the camera, the 5 minutes you're taking pictures. You're going to have to enjoy the entire experience that you're using the device. And I think that was the genesis behind making the S22 Ultra as fan-friendly as it seems to be on paper so far. So if you're a slab fan, you have this phone to thank because it's going to push manufacturers to be more interesting with their releases, more secondary displays on the back like the Mi 11 Ultra, whatever Super that they put, all these things on there. You're going to have Huawei with their foldable devices. You're going to have more people. The Oppo Find N, which is incredibly interesting, making a pocketable, essentially, fold form factor. That's interesting. That's going to push the envelope even further. And if you're a foldable fan, you have to love this device because it brought it down to a price range that's getting into the affordable range. I understand $1,000 still certainly isn't affordable by any means, but when you're talking iPhones and S21, it brings it down to that range, right? And then the next step is going to bring it down to that $600 or $700 range, and then you're really going to have something. So all around, whether you're a foldable fan or just a flat glass slab display fan, this was the smartphone of the year because it's going to impact you the most moving forward. Thank you again for a wonderful year. We'll see you next year. We'll have different stuff on the channel, all the rest of it. Slight studio changes. Nothing crazy. We don't change a heck of a lot around here. But thank you for a fantastic year. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.